Hey Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, your August tarot reading is ready. I'm Eleanor and welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. Welcome if you're new, and if you're not, really quick, yes, I have consolidated the readings into elements, so there will be 4 videos instead of 12 each month. It's just an experiment while I am working 50 hours a week to see if it works, to see if it still resonates, and to see if it's just more manageable. So here we go. Your theme for August is play, represented by the monkey. So it's a time to prioritize fun and laughter. I would say socializing, but it doesn't have to be. But definitely inner child work for some. So, what ways can you lighten up this month? Or what is something that, if you're honest with yourself about it, that you could be taking too seriously? What can you surrender so that you can fully embrace the present? Like what irrational fears are preventing you from finding joy in the present? Now, another question that could be helpful to answer is, what is it that you have tried too hard to control? And the more you try to control it, the more it fights back. And if you were to lighten up on it, maybe it could be more manageable than you thought. Now, the guidebook for this deck, it provides correspondences. So for element, it does represent earth, which is appropriate. For flora, it says caraway, hyacinth, monkey flower, and daisies. Now for stones, it says pink chalcedony, smithsonite, chrysoprase, and dioptase. I don't know if those are pronounced right, but so I have pulled an affirmator for each of the signs individually. So let's see. So for Taurus, you have sanctuary. It says, good for you. It seems you've earned some time away from the chaos of life. It could be as small as a bubble bath or as big as a trip. Or maybe it's a small trip and a big bubble bath, or a normal sized trip and a tiny bubble bath. Or maybe you tripped and fell into someone's bath. Whatever it is, it's waiting for you with open arms. Just pick your favorite sanctuary and unplug for a bit, especially if a bath is involved. So your focus this month might be more on your space, and is it conducive to joy and fun? Do you have a place to play, whether it's in your home or a place that you belong to outside of your home? Sanctuary could also represent the people with whom you feel safest being yourself and letting your hair down a little bit. Now, Virgo and Capricorn, you got the same one, crazy enough, and it says self-love. It says, I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind. I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as the most committed partner I will ever have. I show myself love any way that I can, and when I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm going to make myself go sleep on the couch. Got that, self? So this is pointing your attention to how much you have been showing up for others, participating in their ideas of fun, or forgoing your own fun because you've been putting others first. And this month, it's time to prioritize your idea of fun and pursue joy your way. So for something to let go of or surrender, you have the Knight of Cups. So for a lot of you, this is talking about letting your feelings show and holding them a little bit less closely and tightly to your chest, more on your sleeve. And this feels more like an unleashing of this Knight of Cups energy within you. The poet, the romantic, the artist, the musician, the lover. There is an echo of the themes here, in that it's calling you to surrender a certain degree of over responsibility for others and the weight of the world so that you can express your heart more freely. So it is surrendering a certain serious image, or it could be letting go of other people's opinion to some degree. So for where you will see the most change, you have, let's see, Temperance reversed. So something is getting teased apart or splitting in two. You might find yourself dividing your energy in a different way. And it might sound too abstract, but it's like instead of finding balance the way a tightrope walker would, like centering the balance on a single axis, it's like balance is struck by a wide stance, a large distribution of what you're supporting with your energy. And yeah, with Temperance in the reverse, something something could be removed from the mix, but it would be some sort of toxic element, something that is creating disharmony. And this could look like businesses splitting off into two separate divisions, or kids moving out of the household. There is a potential for breakups under this energy, but it's the type that is so obviously a relief. So if that applies to you, you'll already know because you're already desiring it. It's also dissolving business partnerships, band members striking out to try a solo career, that kind of thing. So for what will be your biggest obstacle, you have the Tower. So since your biggest change is a major arcana, it's likely to affect your life in a big way, which creates an obstacle to normalcy, or a temporary inability to move forward until you can establish a new normal. So this Tower is an obstacle, is referring to how you're able to face change and the temporary discomfort of something that was not built well, giving way so that it can be built back better or on a more solid footing. So with play as your theme, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the destruction of some buttoned up or restricted identity. See, the way I read the Tower, it's like a safety blanket being ripped away, or a jailbreak in a certain way. The blanket, it doesn't actually protect you from anything. It's that provision of safety. That's something that you ascribe to it. Or like the way people describe prison. Yes, it sucks there, but at least there is an odd security to it versus being out in the elements. So what I see the most here, though, is being knocked off a pedestal. And sometimes we have to come down off of our pedestal to have real fun and to show ourselves some real self-love. So this essentially, it's the shattering of illusions or pretense. So for the best thing about this month, you have the Queen of Wands. So for those of you for whom this represents another person, it can be contact with or the deepening of a relationship with someone that you consider to be a leader, a bright light, someone that's inspiring and that makes you want to be the best version of yourself, someone very passionate who makes you feel passionate. So there can be a high level of sexual energy here. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it can be passion for a cause, an activity, a worldview, your values, anything like that. Now, if it represents an aspect of yourself, it's the awakening of, or just feeling this part of you coming to the forefront. It's feeling more confident and more playful and more exploratory, bold, motivated, focused. Now, for some, this could represent a little bit of a glow up that's happening from within, or feeling especially seen. You could find people being more pulled towards your light than usual. For some, it could feel like your magic, like everything you touch is working out for you. Now, a lot of you might discover or rediscover your personal power if you have been giving it away at any time in the recent past. So for your influence and impact on others, you have Justice. So there's something here about being an equalizer or an intermediary. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a mediator or a negotiator, a broker or middleman even. So you could be helping others communicate with each other. For others, it's more about balance between you and others, where you could be serving as a stabilizing force in a relationship or for a loved one who needs it. Now, whether that means being the voice of reason or just being the more objective one, you could be helping people make sense of their situations by helping them see all of the factors or something they could be missing. Sometimes that's something the tarot readers do, so maybe that's you. So for what opportunities you should be looking for, you have the Eight of Wands. So go with the flow if you can. This is talking about riding existing momentum, just like the moving sidewalks at the airport. Or like being the last goose in the V, right? Isn't that how it works? The one out in front has to work the hardest and the rest get a break by riding the stream or whatever. It looks so much like the Wheel of Fortune, and there is that little watch there in the middle. So there's something important about timing here, but it's Eight of Wands is really a non-specific energy. It's more like referring to green lights and how you recognize a green light in your life. Like everyone has their own little signals that they associate with a cosmic green light. Like it could be certain animals or number sequences, symbols. It's just saying to look for those yeses to take advantage of. So for what strength to leverage, or what is your superpower this month, you have the Emperor in reverse. I don't know why this Emperor is shaped like a boot, but okay. It's funny though, because I'm pretty sure the guidebook for this specific deck has balancing work and play for the Emperor in the reverse position, which is kind of crazy. So this might sound strange, but your superpower is your past mistakes, or I should say that all you've learned from them. It's not the whole like what doesn't kill you make you stronger platitude, but it's your screw ups that have made you stronger. And this is true too. I could equate it to teaching Taekwondo, where when someone asks me a question about something that's always come easily to me, it's harder for me to help them and instruct them figure it out. The more you've struggled with something, the more you know it inside and out. So that's one aspect of this. Now, another is trust and fluidity. It's about surrendering the need to over control your environment as your only way to feel safe, because you've built your safety from within. Because sometimes over controlling your environment or trying to control others can backfire. Which is not to say to not try to control the controllable, obviously, but recognizing the limits of that control and accessing trust beyond that point. So for your self-care directive, you have it's the Four of Cups reverse. So what's that thing that you've been putting off doing for yourself? That's the thing they're talking about. Or what's something you've withheld from yourself for some reason, or maybe even something that you've written off that is not necessary. So for some of you, this is about trying something again that maybe you thought didn't work. And that could be for lots of different reasons, but try a different approach or try a different version of it or in a different context, whatever that means for you. Now, some of you, it could be referring to accepting help when it's offered if you haven't been doing that. I mean, I know it's self-care, but self-care could mean saying yes when people try to help you as a way to help yourself. I find it interesting that this image, the spilled cups, they look like little coffee cups, like they could be Starbucks cups or something. And the thing being offered to him in the tree is that big juicy apple. So there could be something here about your nutrition. Now, I'm not a nutritionist. I can't give advice about that stuff, but this does look like a general indicator of needing to replace something with a more nutrient-dense alternative. That's not normally indicated in a cups card, but that image is just so specific and so literal, so that's what I'm getting. So that's what I have for you, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Much love, and I'll talk to you next month. Thank you.